This goes to Governor Raimondo, to you. As you well know, climate change is the greatest long-term threat facing our state. It is already knocking at our door and causing damaging impacts in our state across the nation and around the world. We need to act urgently to do everything possible to reduce emissions, have a rapid and just transition off of our dependency on fossil fuels, and plan for adaptation and resilience. There is one immediate action that would help with all of these. Stop National Grid from building a new fossil fuel facility in a vulnerable and populated coastal area where me and my children live. I added that part. Okay. We, the No LNG and PVD Coalition, the Mashapaug Narragansett tribe, and the group of 12 elected officials are writing you to urgently request that you join us in rejecting National Grid's Fields Point liquefaction facility. The proposed liquefied natural gas production and export facility is unnecessary, risky, and short-sighted. Right, Joshua? At a time when Rhode Island should be investing in renewable energy, improving coastal resiliency, and growing an economy of the future, the LNG facility will be $180 million step in the wrong direction, paid for out of pockets of public ratepayers. The LNG facility requires the approval of all right state agencies. The timing is urgent, with decisions on crucial permit pending over the next couple of months. The Department of Environmental Management, you guys, posted documents on October 6th that shows it is poised to approve a short-term response action plan, or STRAP, soil remediation project. This permit will allow National Grid to conduct construction work at the contaminated site, which has high levels of carcinogen and hazardous materials. Next, the Coastal Resource Management Council, CRMC, will be holding a hearing about the facility on October 24th and issuing a decision before the end of the year. FERC has been known as a rubber stamp agency even before the Trump regime. Federal approval is very likely, which means that it will be up to Rhode Island State Agency to take action to stop the LNG facility. On September 15th, midway through a devastating month that set the record for greatest Atlantic hurricane energy, FERC announced the timeline of moving forward as final decision. Despite numerous requests, FERC will not be doing a comprehensive environmental impact statement and will only issue a limited environmental assessment, which means there will be no public hearing. Joshua, he's like, no, I know.
He believes
you
in
say
it so
yes.
much.
He's urging you on.
September 15, and I say go. September 15 was also the date of the governor's executive order action plan to stand up to climate change. We applaud the governor for announcing these proactive steps in prioritizing climate change climate change action alongside our entire federal delegation. But rhetoric is meaningless without action, and now is the time to take action. Allowing a major new fossil fuel facility to be built in a densely populated, disaster-prone area near schools and hospitals, paid for and subsidized by Rhode Island taxpayers, is unacceptable. It is also incompatible with the governors and the state of Rhode Island's state goals of climate mitigation, adaptation, and resiliency. Hurricanes Harvey, Irma, and Maria are a wake-up call. Storms are becoming increasingly violent, and frontline communities are the most vulnerable for the worst impacts and the slowest recoveries. We cannot pretend that catastrophic 500 or 1,000-year storms only happen every 500 or 1,000 years. The new normal we are entering is uncharted territory without reference points, and we need to prepare for our own worst-case scenario. The LNG facility is part of our worst case scenario. Major hurricanes have hit Rhode Island in the past with devastating impacts. It's not a question of if, but when the next major storm will take a direct hit. This LNG liquefaction facility will be connected to an existing LNG storage tank that is almost half a century old. And in 2005, FERC rejected the Keyspan LNG import facility proposal because that tank did not meet the current safety standards. National Grid has discarded the initial plans to conduct a protective barrier around the tank. The Shell terminal on the northern side of National Grid site is being sued by the Conservative Law Foundation for being dangerously unprepared for the impacts of climate change. On the southern side of National Grid's LNG tank is Univar, which stores millions of pounds of dangerous chemicals, including chlorine gas, and has a worst-case impact of 14-mile hazardous radius. This is all on the wrong side of the hurricane barrier. At the mouth of the Narragansett Bay, where the hurricane storm surge would be amplified by a funnel effect, any debris accumulated from the bay, like boats, trees, or pieces of metal, will be turned into battering rams. This is known as the Achilles heel of New England. In our state's only level 1 trauma center, our major highways, our schools, and our neighborhoods are too close for comfort. Let's learn from Harvey's impact on Houston and not take planning and development decisions that increase our risk and put frontline communities in greater harm. Let's learn from the tragedies in Puerto Rico and understand that the Trump regime does not care about communities of color. Local and state government needs to step in and do what's needed.